Can you actually size up a pattern from one of those like pictures in like, you know, Ladies' Home Journal or whatever from 1909? Let's find out. I have this really cool picture of patterns that I found on the, you know, free pattern Tumblr that we all absolutely love, and thank goodness that thing exists. Is it actually gonna make the thing it's showing in the picture? How do I even know? Like, someone could have just drawn the basic shapes. So we'll see. I blew it up. Not, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Yes, I know, I still have a literal brain even when I'm using phrases. I enlarged the picture. I kind of gauged like what my measurements were and then tried to make it that size. We're gonna see if it actually makes something that looks like the picture.
The first element in this shirtwaist are the tucks. This is done with pin tucks, which are intentional small pleats in the shape of a V pattern on the front of the bust. I am using linen, so I simply crease the linen nicely before sewing it. You can iron them before stitching too. Most advice I read said to sew the pleats before you cut the pattern piece out, so I traced the pattern out on the fabric, marked and drew the pleat lines, sewed them, and then I will cut out the front piece.
Okay, this is an ADHD nightmare. I have to do so many lines of this. This is only half. Okay, I gotta do this other half. I am seriously regretting my choices. Grant me the dopamine.
I hope you enjoy this mostly extreme close-up of my sweater, while everything I tried to film about me sewing is completely blocked. But at least there's some nice calming music along with it.
Okay, but actually, this feels really good. Feels really good to do this. Okay, so far so good, I think. I don't know, maybe this will work.
I am definitely going to need to make this armhole bigger.
This is the size of my hand. Like, who's fitting their arm through there? Certainly not me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut both of these out. Okay, well I already cut this out, but I'm gonna cut this out. We're gonna sew it together. I'm gonna try it on just with these two pieces, and then I'm gonna hack out whatever my arm is demanding comes out of this so that it will fit nicely.
Yeah, there was a lot to hack out of those armholes, but once I did, it was time to finally sew in the actual sleeve.
Sleeve pattern is actually not bad. Like, it works as it is, which is awesome. I pretty much just followed this thing, doing, you know, I started here and doing the gathers to here, and then what I tend to do in my sleeves is that I will gather it-ish, and then I will stitch together these two sides to each other, and then just sort of release the gather to the size of the armhole. And luckily I didn't really have to add any extra anything into the pattern, which is sweet. The cuffs also did not need to be altered, which was nice. The other piece has to kind of be gathered into the top part of this just a little bit, which is actually really nice. It creates a nice look. So here's one cuff that I've done. I made the buttonholes and sewed on the buttons, which I had to wait a while to get in the mail. I didn't use interfacing. It's really just 2 layers. In fact, it's actually just folded. And then here you can see the gathering. I don't understand the collar. The pattern piece is straight, but then the picture is curved. Whatever, we're gonna see how it looks.
Okay, it didn't turn out too bad. However, it is loose around my neck. That's not necessarily a bad thing considering I have some sensory issues around my neck, but it's definitely not fitting like the picture, like at all. The other thing I'm noticing is that the back is way too short. Yeah, I need to add length to this. So the way that I chose to do that is I drew out the bottom, the hem of the pattern pieces that needed to be extended and like marked the edges so that I knew where the line actually ended. And then I extended that line by 3 inches, just sort of following the curve with my clear ruler. I love this ruler so much. I know it's used for quilting, but it is the best. It's the best. There we go. Now I've got my 3-inch extension that goes all the way around the bottom of the blouse.
I have roll hemmed all the way around, and then I decided to take the seam allowance and stitch it down so that it can be a channel for a drawstring.
I couldn't find a safety pin to help me put this through, so I'm using a bobby pin. It actually works. I'm using a cord instead of a ribbon. Probably a ribbon would be better, but this is what I have. I am so glad I added this extension. For the back closure, I really just cut out straight strips of linen fabric and reinforced the center back. The buttons are about 2.5 inches apart between the middles of each button. And then I used my machine to make the buttonholes.
Okay, it's all done. I have not eaten because I have been hyper-focusing. So I'm gonna go eat first so I stop shaking. And then I'm gonna go try this on. But I like it. So far, overall, I like it. We'll see how it looks on an actual human. Final thoughts. Adjustments had to be made. I'm still capable of making it fit. Some aspects just fit right off the bat. Other things needed to be extended. I could have saved myself a lot of trouble by making a mock-up and then getting all of the details to the right place. I know we all hate doing mock-ups, especially if we have ADHD, because we're just like, I have limited dopamine, I have limited amounts of energy to do this at all, but I do think that it's worthwhile to do that. I mean, I love the fact that it's linen. This is gonna be able to serve me in the summertime too, although I don't know how much I'm gonna wanna like wear this in like the heat of North Carolina summer. I'm actually really impressed with my first time doing the pin tucks. I really like the texture. But yeah, overall I just think that like bodies are way too varied to be able to really reliably trust something like this. A lot of the times I just don't know what the shape is to begin with, and so this kind of helps me and gives me an idea. I don't think it's a completely useless. I think that, you know, like cut a full blouse at the end of the day, but it was helpful. You would not be able to trust this straight out of the, like without any adjustments at all. And I think that about any garment that you're working on, really, you should really be thinking about how it can best fit your body, which is actually the whole reason why I like historical costuming, because you get choice. Like you have control. I liked doing this. It was fun. I like the fact that it's an actually original pattern. Yeah, like overall, I think it's really cool to take something from history and actually make it. It's the whole reason why I have this channel. But anyway, thanks for joining me on my journey of making this, kind of seeing what would happen. I'm pleasantly surprised. Now I have a blouse. I have something that I can use with other pieces in my wardrobe that I am slowly making. Stay salty. Make sure you eat. Drink some water. Take care of yourselves. I love you. Bye.